Okay, here we go, guys. This is Everyman with Everyman's 40K channel. So what you have here in front of you, we're going to go ahead and start on our Forge World Mega Dread. In a previous couple posts or couple videos I uploaded, I told you this is what we're going to get started on. So today's the day. So this is going to be the first kind of introductory video, and I want to show you where I'm at to this stage. This is just kind of the start, or what I call the preparatory work. So this is what I did to prep the Gorkanaut to get it into a stage of where we can actually start doing the modification and start making the Mega Dread. I'll throw up a stat line here so you can see what the Mega Dread stat line looks like. So that way you can have a reference of why I'm making a Mega Dread. I'm actually making two. So I have another one that I converted from a Grey Knight's Nemesis Dread Knight, and it's already done. It's already converted. I'll run a showcase in a future video on that one to show you what that looks like. I'll throw up a picture of that one here so you can see that one as well, but then I'll go ahead and describe that, or I'll put that in a video and we'll do a breakdown on that one. Okay, so this is, like I said, the prep work. So this is as far as I got on the Gorkanaut. Everybody has probably seen a Gorkanaut build already, so I didn't want to go ahead and do a Gorkanaut build and basically rehash what everybody's probably already seen 100 times. Everybody kind of has a Gorkanaut build out there. So I want to show you this first. So let's start here. So this piece here is just a plastic pin. So what this does is it allows me to take the claw from the Gorkanaut, where this piece here goes into here. I shaved this down a little bit, got rid of these tabs that would click into here, and this is supposed to be glued. But instead of gluing, what I did is I put this so it clicks in there slightly, and then you take this pin, right, and you pin it right here. You turn it. It's pretty tight. It has to be tight because once you get it on the Gorkanaut, you want it to stay. You don't want it to fall or drop. That's pretty tight there. So there. So I can position that arm and this doesn't fall or droop, you know. But the reason I did that is because, I'll take this apart now. Like I said, it's pretty tight. So that way I can use this arm on the Gorkanaut when I'm playing him, or it allows me to put this on my Mega Dread once we start building. This arm, if it was still attached, and this would be on a base, right? This arm, in my opinion, I mean, maybe it's not, but to me, it's too big. It's just way too big. For a Forge World Mega Dread, it's not to scale. This Forge World Mega Dread would end up actually being, once I got it all built with this size egg that I chose, it would actually end up being bigger than the Gorkanaut. So yeah, this is what we've done. So what this is this comes off. This also allows me to turn this sideways. See, on the Gorkanaut, it's like this, always. No matter what Gorkanaut you see, unless somebody's changed it, it's always in the vertical position or upright position. But on my Mega Dread, I want to change it so it's squeezing somebody this way. Right, so now you understand kind of why I did this, because I want it to look like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put an arm in here, another armature. So we're going to take some of this tube here with this same pin, because this fits inside here. With this same pin, we're going to take this tube and we're going to put it right in between here. And then we're going to pin that. And then once we put this tube, then we can run anything across here. Some type of arm, some type of hydraulic pistons, anything that makes it look like this arm has a pivot point and a joint. Then what we do on the end of a tube that comes across here, we go ahead and put something like this, like a little pin. And we put a pin on the end of that. So then that will actually pin into there later. And we'll get into that as I build it. So that's the arm. That's the prep work I had to do on the arm. So we'll put this aside. The legs are built. So the legs, what I did is I want to actually have this guy look like he's running or has some motion. So I clearanced this part right here, right across there. I clearanced it just a little bit, or I cut it out, so you could maybe see the difference. This one's a little bit bigger. This one's a little bit smaller right there at the knee joint. What that does is it allows more articulation of that leg. So you can see the different angles. That one stops there, right? A little bit. This one, you get way more articulation. And I can even go further if I cut this out even more. But for now, that's good enough. What that does is it allows me to straighten one leg and bend the other leg. So it looks like when you get him in position, it looks like he's running, right? Just depending on which position you want the legs. So that was the prep work on the legs. I'm not going to do any more. These are pretty much done. I'm just going to build something on here on the egg part where these can pin in. And we're going to cut the bottom off. We're not going to leave it a total egg. We're going to make that flat. So anyway, so that's the work on the legs. So legs are prepped. Okay, so engine deck. So we're going to use the engine deck from the Gorkanaut because this does not have an engine deck. So what I've done is I've included magnets here and here, and I've dropped in magnet here and here. So this, boom, that's like that. So now this engine deck can be used on my Forge World Mega Dread. So this engine deck, it can actually go in the back somewhere like this. So not only can we have everything, arms, legs, feet, right? It's basically 5 things. 2 legs, 2 arms, and some type of engine deck that we need to steal or borrow from this to put on the Forge World Mega Dread that we're going to build. So the engine deck can go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, the egg, and I'm going to flatten that and have it recessed. So I'm going to go inside the egg. I'm going to go in. So this here, when I'm ready and I start to build it, this will slide in or go kind of get buried in the egg. So we're going to hide that connection. What that's going to do is it helps to get rid of the curve on the egg in comparison to the flat of the engine deck. So it gets rid of that gap. So what we're going to do is we're going to cheat it, and we're going to cheat this, and we're going to bury that into this egg, and we're going to hide that disconnect. So finally, let's talk about the gun. So this one, I wanted this to look like this, like he's using a custom Mega Blasta, but I actually made this so when the Gorkanaut is being used, it can be a Gorkanaut or a Morkanaut, just depending on its configuration. What I did is I took this gun and I made it so I can do both. So instead of this just being on the front or this being on the front, I cut right here a slot so this can slide in there like this. See? So now when this is here, right, this can be either the Gatling burster or the super cannon or whatever they call it on the Gorkanaut, super mega shooter or something, or I can turn it around and put this here like that and then run it as the custom Mega Blasta, and that slides in just slightly. Just like that. And it's held into position just by this ring. And that slot helps so that can open up just a little bit. So it's like a clamp now. So it clamps this portion here. So I turn around, put it in there, and it's clamped. See? So this can then go into here and be either gun. It's easy to switch. So, and once you paint it, nobody will see it. I mean, nobody can tell the difference. So I made this basically the Gorkanaut Morkanaut combination. I've also made this. Not only am I going to take parts and make a Forge World Dread, Mega Dread, but I'm also making it so that all the parts are magnetized on my Gorkanaut, so that either if I choose a Morkanaut, I can run a Morkanaut or a Gorkanaut if I choose to run a Gorkanaut with the custom force field. Which one? I can't remember which one has it. But that's it. So this will wrap up this video. This video is only going to be about prep work. When we actually start building, I'm gonna break everything down. We're gonna start building. I'm gonna start cutting this, start adding the pieces, making the receivers. Basically, that's what we call them. This is a pin, and we're gonna make a receiver to receive this. We're gonna make this into a multi-part build. That way, you can see each section on how I apply things and how I go through the thinking process or the design process to build a Forge World Mega Dread here. If you like what we're doing, guys, like I always say, share, like, subscribe, hit that notification button so you can see when part 2 comes out. I'm going to start working on this today and filming today, so part 2 should be out shortly. Other than that, we're going to leave this alone today, and we'll come back and you'll start seeing me actually cutting and shaping. And I have no idea what's under here. This is a paper mache. I imagine that there's a foam egg underneath this paper mache. I'd almost guarantee it, because there's no way they're going to get this shape without something being under there. So I'm hoping that this is not just hollow, and I hope there's foam, so that way I can start building and attaching things and gluing things inside with foam. So once we cut this open, maybe a surprise. So share, like, and subscribe, fellas. Hit that notification button like I said. Like we always say here, may all your dice rolls come up 6s unless you're looking for 1s. Peace out.